Now, here's what I made during my time at Gordon Food Service. Drum roll. Hello everybody, it's Seiji here and I'm back with another banger today. So this video is going to be about how much money I made when I was at Gordon Food Service, and it's also going to be a review of their orientation. Now, so orientation is 2 days and you are paid for orientation, obviously. Now, like I said in a previous video, there is a minimum pay guarantee if you're based out of the Aberdeen Distribution Center, and that minimum pay guarantee is $1,200. Now, that $1,200 minimum pay guarantee is based out of a 5-day work week. So, since orientation is 2 days, you will be paid for 2/5 of $1,200, whatever number that is. I think it's like 400 something. Let me see if I can do that math. 1,200 times 2 is 2,400. 2,400 divided by 5. I promise I made an A in math. Let's see. How many times can 5 go into 24? 4 times 5 is 20. Yeah, 480. Yep, 480. Yep. So yeah, you paid $480 for orientation. Yeah, the math does math. Girl math. Anyways, where was I? Yeah, so orientation is 8 hours. So from 8 to 4-ish. So once you arrive, they give you a tour around the facility. So you'll, speak with the transportation manager there. And this is if you're based out of the Aberdeen Distribution Center. At other distribution centers, I'm sure it's the same process. I mean, you have the dry section, the cooler section, the freezer section. Of course, the freezer section is cold, very, very cold. And shout out to the freezer selectors out there, because you can wear a coat during the summer and you'll be fine. But where was I? Okay, so after you do the tour, then you do the onboarding paperwork, which can be very, very cumbersome. So more specifically, you have to fill out a 10-year work history, and it has to be in chronological order. Like, the dates have to match up, and that's probably the most annoying part of the application. And it's especially annoying if you're in your early 20s, because if you're 21, 22, 23, 10 years ago, you were in middle school. So I think that trucking companies need to do better than that. And it's not just Gordon Food Service. There's a bunch of other trucking companies that make you do that. They make you fill out a 10-year work history. I don't like it. I wish they would stop doing that, because that's very annoying. Can we at least lessen it to 3 years? Come on, y'all. Let's do better. Let's do better. But yeah, after you fill out that, and make sure you save it, because if you don't save it, you have to start over again. So once you complete all that, you meet somebody in human resources. So orientation is actually integrated. So if you're part of the warehouse team or the transportation team, you all come together in the trailer park area. This is Aberdeen, the Aberdeen Distribution Center. You come together, you talk about the benefits, because Gordon Food Service, they do day one benefits, so you sign up for that. You also sign up for the 401k plan. It's optional to sign up the first day. If you don't sign up the first day, you're automatically enrolled after 60 days of service. So you qualify for profit sharing after 1 year of service at Gordon Food Service, which is very, very hard to do. But if you can do it, more power to you, because Gordon Food Service is a very, very profitable company, and I am very, very happy that they do profit sharing for their employees. They let you know that they actually take care of their employees, because a lot of these mega carriers, they don't have very good retirement programs at all. So yeah, don't look to retire at a mega carrier. Honestly, yeah, don't look to retire at Schneider or Swift. God, please don't. But anyways, where was I? So yeah, after you sign up for benefits, she makes sure that you sign up for the Gordon Grove. So the Gordon Grove is basically a social media app for Gordon Food Service employees, and you only have access to that app if you're a Gordon Food Service employee. And you also have access to the Workday app. So your access to both of these apps are contingent upon your employment at Gordon Food Service. And on the Workday app, that's how you're able to, view your benefits information. That's how you're able to view your pay stubs. So if you were to leave, whether you quit or you got fired from Gordon Food Service. I don't really hear people getting fired from Gordon Food Service, I'm going to be honest with you. But if you were to, leave Gordon Food Service for whatever reason, you will lose access to the Workday app. So if you're somebody that wants to keep pay stubs for your record, just make sure you screenshot those. Because in my experience, when I left, they gave me access to, a separate page to view my W-2 forms or access my pay information. I don't remember what it was, but I could never access it. So I had to wait for my not my pay stub, my W-2 form to come via mail towards the end of January so I can file my taxes. So that's just something to keep in mind if you're thinking about leaving Gordon Food Service. Just throwing that out there. So after the first day of orientation, they also feed you. I forgot. They also feed you. They feed you pizza or whatever they feed you. That's what they fed us. So after the first day of orientation is day 2, and day 2 is just a bunch of safety videos that you watch, and they're very, very cumbersome and they're very time consuming. So prepare to spend anywhere from 4 to 6 hours doing those safety videos. And the reason why I say that they're very cumbersome is because you can't pause, rewind, fast forward, none of that. And there's also questions at the end of the videos to test your knowledge. And if you get any of those questions wrong, you have to start over again. So yeah, make sure you're just paying attention to those videos. I know it's boring, but hey, at least you're getting paid $480 for orientation, because that's the girl math I calculated. But anyways, moving on. So yeah, orientation is 2 days, and then after that, you will go on a training program, which is supposed to be 3 weeks. So the first day of your training program, you're not driving at all. You're just, riding with the trainer, and you're learning how to stack a hand truck, and you're learning how to go up and down a ramp, etc. That's day 1. And then day 2, that's when you're driving. You're behind the wheel, you're getting your experience and getting your backing experience, because you got a lot of tight backing situations to deal with as a local food service driver. Just saying. So you deal with all that, and then at the end of the 3 weeks, ideally you have a coaching trip with the assistant transportation manager, which is basically a supervisor. They have these fancy names for the generic job positions, like a ATM, assistant transportation manager, is just a supervisor, and a transportation manager, a TM, is a manager. So you have a coaching trip with the ATM after the end of your 3 weeks, and he decides if you have the green light to start delivering cases on your own. Now, when you're starting out in food service, because there's a seniority system, you will more than likely be on extra board. So you'll be either filling in or assisting on other people's routes until you get your own routes. So yeah, good luck with that. So, like I said, they do component pay. Component pay is based off of the daily rate, cases, stops, and miles. And there's also a minimum pay guarantee of $1,200. So, here's the thing with me. I did say that training was 3 weeks, but I was a special case. Now, I don't know why I ended up being the special case. Maybe it was because they felt I was incompetent and I couldn't run the cases by myself, which is valid, because I don't think I was capable of doing that job by myself. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. And honestly, that's okay. I felt like a failure at the time when I quit Gordon Food Service. I felt so defeated, but then I realized if you can't do food service, then that's okay. It's not for everybody, and I want it to be local so bad, but then I realized that it's just not worth it for me. But it may be worth it for you. To each their own. Now, here's what I made during my time at Gordon Food Service. Drum roll. I made around $12,800. I made about $13,000. I made about $13,000 in the 2 months I was there at Gordon Food Service. Now, that's the most money I've ever made in 2 months at any job, and I earned every single penny of it. Now, most of that money wasn't even component pay, because like I said, I wasn't by myself. I was always riding with somebody, so I always got the flat rate, the daily rate of $262 a day, plus the Chinese overtime if I worked over 40 hours during the week. So, like I said in a previous video, the component pay is so flawed that you can sometimes make more money than people who are actually on routes getting component pay. Because, some routes, you're only driving, 30 miles in the day, and you probably only have like 500 cases. That's probably going to pay you, anywhere from $240 to $250. Meanwhile, I'm making $262 just to help with, somebody else's route. Hey, look, like I said, man, if they felt like I was incompetent, which is probably valid, and they felt like I couldn't, do the job by myself, I had to have somebody with me, hey, by all means. I made a lot of money, and it was a lot of money to me. Now, after taxes, I take home about $1,000 a week, which was very, very good. And it was very, very consistent. I will say that. Like, I consistently took home this every week. And that's the thing about food service. Food service money is very consistent. And you can't really say that about a lot of trucking jobs, especially if you're paid cents per mile. Cents per mile is like the biggest scam ever. And I'm actually going to touch on that in my next video because I just don't get it. Like, I can make what, $700 one week and then $1,200 the next week. It's never anything consistent, but it is what it is. So yeah, I put the W-2 form somewhere right here, and that's how much money I made at Gordon Food Service. You will work for every single penny. Like I said, it's not for everybody. It may be for you, but yeah, my biggest piece of advice if you do decide to do this type of work is to, one, make sure you have some experience heading into it because you're going to have to face a lot of difficult backing situations and you don't want to lose your CDL. Two, make sure you have a good pair of slip resistant steel toe boots. I only recommend the Keen boots. And three, check out Anthony's channel because he gives great advice for food service drivers. He just released a video this week about tips and tricks to help make the job easier. So he's a great resource. And yeah, you guys can benefit from his channel. I promise you, he probably has an answer for any of the questions that you have about this job. Just check out his channel. I'll link it down in the description box below. Thank you guys for watching. You guys are the best audience on the internet. And if you like this video, hit the like button, comment, rate, share, subscribe. I'm Taja Woods, and I'll see you next time.